Yo, what's going on people? It's your boy Huncho, back at you again with another video. Now, I know I've been missing for a little while, but it was because I was working on that James Holmes video that I put out last night. If you haven't seen that one yet, by the way, go and give that one a watch. It's a big 45-minute video and breaks that whole situation down. I've seen a lot of feedback and people are saying they really like those documentary style type videos, so I'll put more of them out in the future more often, but that just means that sometimes I'll be missing daily uploads. Either way, there's a couple of stories that came out over this past weekend that I thought I'd share with you guys, and this first one is coming out of Woodgreen, and if you follow me over on my Instagram, then you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. If you don't follow me on Instagram, by the way, it will be linked down in the description below. But for anyone who isn't aware of this situation, on the 6th of August 2021, so this Friday that has just passed, police were called to Knoll Park Road in Woodgreen to check on the welfare of children. Two officers along with a social worker turned up to the address at around 7:20 p.m, but while doing so, all three would go on to be either stabbed or slashed. It's believed that a man had stabbed a social worker, and when police tried to restrain him, they were slashed in the process. All three were taken to hospital where they had non-life-threatening injuries and would later go on to be discharged from hospital. Since then, 33-year-old Salai Bakari has been charged with 2 counts of causing grievous bodily harm and 1 count of attempted murder. Now look, we don't know the circumstances surrounding this case and what exactly went down, but what we do know is that there could have potentially been 2 dead police officers and a dead social care worker all over a welfare check. If you don't know what a welfare check is, it's normally to check on the well-being of a vulnerable child or sometimes even an adult. So for these officers and this social worker to just be checking up on a vulnerable person, to then come in face to face with potentially death, really does show you what some of these frontline workers have to deal with on a day-to-day basis. Something that on the grand scheme of things is small can turn into something really big. This mirrors another story we recently went over where paramedics had been stabbed in the chest and back by a 53-year-old man by the name of Martin Smith after they were doing a welfare check on him. In that case, he went on to be jailed for 9 years, but the charges were 2 counts of wounding with intent to cause grievous bodily harm. So slightly different charges of this recent story, but of course, if I do get any updates, I'm going to keep you guys posted on this one. But moving on to our next story, and for this next one, we've got to head over to Newham, where as of yesterday, this story is currently developing. Let's get into what we know so far though, and then we'll go over the updates. So at around 1:15 a.m. on the 6th of August 2021, emergency services were called to Henniker Road in Newham, and when they arrived, they found 23-year-old Michael Fadeyibi suffering from stab injuries to the neck, and he was found with a 19-year-old male who also had stab injuries who hasn't been named. Unfortunately, Michael would go on to be pronounced dead at the scene, but the 19-year-old survived after being taken to a nearby hospital. That 19-year-old would then go on to be arrested on suspicion of murder, but he's since been bailed pending further inquiries. Then, as of yesterday, a 22-year-old man and a 17-year-old boy were arrested on suspicion of murder, and they currently remain in custody. 2 24-year-old men and a 19-year-old woman were also arrested on suspicion of assisting an offender, and they also remain in custody at an East London police station. Now, Michael has been named as drill rapper Smokes from the 7th Gang in Newham. If for whatever reason you don't know who he is, he's basically affiliated with CB Yanko and those guys. He goes by the name StickUp in his music, and from what I can see, he has a couple of songs out there that have done decent numbers on YouTube, with his light work freestyle gaining just over 600k views. But it saddens me to think that another young person has been taken away again due to knife attacks on the streets of the capital. It feels like every couple of days now reports are coming out about young men dying, but for whatever reason, no one in power is addressing the issue. Yes, you can put new laws into place, but imagine if we lived in a world where every day, instead of talking about COVID, we talk about another epidemic that's going on in the UK, and that is knife crime. Could you imagine if on the news and on the TV every day there was conversation about how to tackle knife crime and about how to deal with this issue? I reckon things would be a lot better than what they are right now. But no, every day the news wants to talk about COVID. And yes, these stories do get reported on, of course they do, but because they're happening so much now, they're not even making headlines like they used to, and this is the reality of what is going on. But I do want to take this time out just to pay my condolences to Michael's family and friends. But give the video a like for more crime related content like this, and make sure you hit the subscribe button if you haven't. It's been me, Huncho, and I'll see you in the next one.